Group 2 and our topic is all about death penalty. Death penalty or capital punishment is the legal execution of a convicted criminal sentenced to death by a court. So, may iba't ibang kinds and methods ang death penalty. First is hanging or pagbibigte. So, familiar naman na tayo sa pagbibigte, pero long drop ang commonly used na hanging method. So, next is shooting or pamamaril. Execution by firing squad. So, naglalagay sila ng black hood sa ulo ng prisoner. So, bago nila i-shoot or barilin. Next is lethal injection. Generally consists of 3 chemicals, sodium pentothal. So, yung sodium pentothal is anesthesia. Neuroimmun bromide, pang-paparalyze siya ng muscle, and potassium chloride. Yun yung to stop the heartbeat. So, next is electrocution. It is a metal skull cap shape. Electrode is attached to their scalp and forehead. A jolt of between 500 and 2000 volts, which lasts for about 30 seconds, repeatedly administered until prisoner is declared dead. So, inuulit-ulit siya hanggang mamatay yung prisoner. And lastly is stoning. The victim is killed by stones thrown by a group of people with injuries leading to death. So, ito yung parang one of the most used na method nung unang panahon. Yung mga tao is parang nagagather sila. So, tas babatuhin nila yung person na victim. And next is local history of death penalty naman tayo. Death penalty is known as parusang kamatayan sa Pilipinas. Initially introduced and widely practiced by Spanish government in 16th century. Maraming Pilipino ang na-execute ng Spanish government katulad ni Jose Rizal, Gomburza, Trece Martires, at iba pa. Ang Pilipinas ang unang Asian country na nag-abolish ng death penalty noong 1987. So, next is foreign history of death penalty naman. Death penalty first established as far as back on 18th century before Christ. So, in the code of King Hammurabi of Babylon. In ancient Greece naman is si Pythagoras, isa siyang philosopher. Naniniwala siya na ang death penalty was only for protection against criminals. And then sa ancient Rome naman ay commonly crucifixion yung ginagamit nila as punishment sa mga criminal.
So, yung next slide is all about the arguments that support death penalty. So, according sa Islamic Penal Code of Iran, the Islamic penal law was approved by the Islamic Consultancy Parliament on July 30, 1991 and ratified by the High Expediency Council on November 28, 1991. The Book 5 of Penal Code, Ta'zirat, has been ratified in May 22 of 1996. So, under Chapter 3, Types of Punishment for Adultery according to Article 82, the penalty for adultery in the following cases shall be death regardless of the age or marital status of the culprit. So, according to Article 82, Section 1, adultery with one consanguineous relative or close relative is forbidden to each other by religious law. So, sinasabi dito na kapag ang dalawang magkapamilyang Iranian person is nagkaroon ng intercourse, maaari silang or hahatulan sila ng death penalty kasi forbidden ito sa kanilang batas and especially sa kanilang religion. Then, sunod naman is ang Article 82, Section 2, adultery with one stepmother, in which adulterer's punish shall be death. So, sinasabi naman dito na kapag ang isang stepmother is nagkaroon siya ng intercourse sa any member of the family, basta hindi dun sa asawa niya, pwede siyang hatulan din ng death penalty. And then, sa Section 3 naman, adultery between non-Muslim and Muslim, in which case the adulterer non-Muslim shall receive the death penalty. So, dito, example, kapag yung non-Muslim man is nagkaroon or nag-intercourse sila ng Muslim woman, yung Muslim man ngayon, non-Muslim man ngayon, is siya yung mahahatulan ng death penalty. Then, sa number 4 naman, forcible rape, in which case the rapist shall receive the death penalty. So, next slide. So, according to Iran Human Rights or IHR NGO, there have been at least 277 executions thus far in 2023, with at least 106 executions in the first 20 days of May, constituting the bloodiest month in more than 5 years. So, ang May is considered as bloodiest month kasi within the first 20 days pa lang is nagkaroon na ng 106 execution. And then, facts about Iran is sila yung second to the top countries na mayroong pinakamaraming rate ng execution. And then, aside dun sa adultery na na-discuss kanina, ang isang Iranian is nahahatulan ng death penalty kapag siya ay na-involve sa drugs, and then economic corruptions, and then kapag nilabag din niya yung isang law or religious law, gaya na lang nung pagsusuot ng hijab. And then lastly is kapag na-involve sila sa protest against government. And then, one of the person na na-execute within the first 20 days of May is sila Saleh, Mahid, and Said. So, yung tatlong to is nahatulan sila ng death penalty kasi nag-protest sila against government, and then sinasabi na nakapatay sila ng isang government officials. And then 2 months after silang na-arrest, within at least a week nun is nahatulan na sila ng execution without evidence na sila talaga or nagpapatunay na sila talaga yung pumatay dun sa isang government officials. So next is arguments that against death penalty. An act prohibiting the imposition of death penalty in the Philippines. So according to Republic Act 9346, it is stated that inter alia, the imposition of death penalty is hereby prohibited. According to Republic Act number 8177, otherwise known as the Act designating the death by lethal injection, is hereby repealed. Republic Act number 7659, otherwise known as the Death Penalty Law, and all other laws, executive orders, and decrees insofar as they impose the death penalty are hereby repealed or amended accordingly. So, according dun sa Republic Act 8177, sinasabi dito na ang lethal injection dito sa Pilipinas is tuluyan ng tinatanggal. While dun sa Republic Act number 7659 is ang pag-i-impose ng death penalty dito sa Pilipinas is pinoprohibit na.
So good morning. Let's now proceed to the next topic about the statistical rate of the death penalty in foreigners and here in the Philippines or local. So in foreign, ayun sa research ko sa Google, ang pinakamataas na rate ng death penalty is sa China. Bakit? Kasi 1,000 plus yung yung nasa death row. And then, sumunod dito, kung hindi ako magkakamali, is, ang sumunod dito is yung Iran, and then, susunod din sa Iran is sa Saudi Arabia. So, China ang pinakamataas talaga na rate sa ibang bansa. Sila yung pinakamataas na rate na nasa death row. Because China is undoubtedly the country with the most death sentences and executions, but the state media and courts only report or publish every small number of death penalty cases. They do not officially publish the number of death sentences of execution or death sentences by province, crime, age, gender, etc. So, the death penalty in China, human rights expert told The Sun online about the vile system that has come to the spotlight again after killing of Chinese tycoon. So, Chinese tycoon Lai Xiaomin is yung pinaka-last na naakusahan ng death penalty because dahil sa kanyang pagiging corruption. So, yun, ang source naman ng pagkamatay niya is siya ay ininjekan or yun tinatawag na lethal injection, which is yung lethal injection na yun is kaya niyang patayin yung utak mo, and then yung puso mo, so lahat ng nasa katawan natin kaya niyang patayin yun. So yun ang ginamit nilang pangpatay kay Chinese tycoon Lai Xiaomin. So siya yung pinaka-last na naakusahan ng death penalty. So on May 2016 election of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, who vowed to reintroduce the death penalty to combat drug trafficking in the Philippines and other crimes during his campaign, posed a new serious threat to the protection of human rights in the country. On March 7, 2017, the House of Representatives overwhelming passed Bill number 4727 on the restatement of the death penalty for drug-related and heinous crime. So, dito is gustong ibalik ni Rodrigo Roa Duterte yung death penalty dahil parami yung mga dito sa Pilipinas, yung mga tao na nagbebenta ng drugs, or yung mga kaso, yung mga tao na nagkakaroon ng kaso na labag sa batas, so or considered as a heinous crime like murder or rape. So gusto niyang ibalik para mabawasan yung mga taong gumagawa nito, yung mga karumal-dumal na labag sa batas ng Pilipinas, dito sa Pilipinas. So, next is the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, reported on Wednesday that 81 Filipinos are on death row overseas and vowed to all it can to avert the execution of their sentence. The DFA continues to work hard and exhausts all diplomatic channels available to ensure that no death penalty sentence is executed against any of our kababayans or fellow countrymen. So, ayon sa DFA, ang gusto lang nila dito is hindi hindi ang gusto lang nila dito is hindi maisali yung mga kababayan natin sa nakabilang sila sa death row. So gusto nila na ang gusto lamang nila is protektahan yung mga Filipino or yung mga kababayan natin na nasa ibang bansa. So yun lang ang gusto ng DFA. Yun yung gusto nilang gawin. Kaya ginagawa nila yung best nila or yung nagtatrabaho sila ng maayos para iligtas yung mga Pilipino sa ibang bansa at para hindi sila maisali sa death row, sa death penalty. So let's now talk about Mary Jane Fiesta Veloso. Fiesta Veloso, Filipino woman who was arrested in Indonesia for drug trafficking in 2010 and then sentenced to death. Granted a temporary reprieve in 2015, she has remained on death row ever since and consistently protects her innocence to the present day. Her case, among others, arrested international attention and widespread security of Indonesia's capital punishment and drug prohibition laws. So dito po kasi sa Indonesia is may sinusunod silang batas. So once na yung tao nilabag yung batas ng Indonesia is makakusa nito ng death penalty. So ito po ang nangyari kay Mary Jane Veloso. So bale nung mag-abroad si Mary Jane Veloso, tinulungan ito ng kanyang kinakapatid na mag-apply ng trabaho sa Malaysia. So bali ang naging agency niya is yung kanyang kinakapatid. And then nung maka-flight si Mary Jane Veloso at nang makarating ito sa Malaysia is bigla itong tinawagan ng kanyang kapatid na hindi available yung kanyang amo o yung kanyang pagtatrabawan. So ang nangyari po dito is bale 3 days tumira si Mary Jane Veloso. I think 3 days or 1 week na tumira si Mary Jane Veloso sa Malaysia dahil nga tinulungan ulit ito ng kanyang kinakapatid para ayusin yung mga papeles, and then binigyan ito ng worth of 20,000 para sa kanyang gastusin. And then nung maayos na yung kanyang papeles is pinag-travel ito papuntang Indonesia. So bale may itong kinakapatid ni Mary Jane Veloso is may binigay sa kanyang luggage. So sinabi sa kanya na wag i-open yun at idala ito sa Indonesia. So si Mary Jane is nagtataka siya kung ano ang laman nung luggage na yun, pero syempre dahil sinabihan siya na wag i-open, hindi niya ito inopen. At nang makarating na si Mary Jane Veloso sa Indonesia, nang makarating na ito sa Jakarta, Indonesia, na-detect nila na may laman yung luggage ni Mary Jane Veloso. So nakitaan siya doon ng drugs. So ayun po ang nangyari kay Mary Jane Veloso, kaya siya naakusahan, nakulong. So ilang years siya doon na nakulong. And then during the administration of Rodrigo Roa Duterte, nabuhay ulit yung case ni Mary Jane. So nagkaroon kasi ng ano na dito, basta yung nabuhay yung kaso ulit ni Mary Jane Veloso dahil ang gusto ng mga tao na mapalaya si Mary Jane Veloso sa Indonesia. So, yun nang makipag-ugnayan naman si Rodrigo Roa Duterte, hindi sinabi sa kanya na hindi basta-basta pwedeng mapalaya si Mary Jane Veloso. And then, yun lang yung sinabi sa kanya ng president ng Indonesia. And then, during the administration naman po ni Bongbong Marcos nabuhay ulit yung issue about kay Mary Jane. So, same lang po ulit na gustong kausapin ng president ni Bongbong Marcos na kausapin yung president ng Indonesia na kung po pwede is palayain si Mary Jane Veloso or palayain siya ng pansamantala. So, ito po yung latest na trending issue dito sa Pilipinas.
Does the death penalty decrease crime? Many people have argued that abolishing death penalty leads to higher crime rates, but studies in the US and Canada, for instance, do not back this up. In 2004, in the US, the average murder rate for a state that used death penalty was 5.71% of 100,000 of the population as against 4.02% of 100,000 in a state that did not use it. In 2003, in Canada, 20 years after the country abolished the death penalty, the murder rate had fallen 44% since 1975. When capital punishment was still in force, far from making society safer, the death penalty has been shown to have a brutalizing effect on society. State-sanctioned killing only serves to endorse the use of force and to continue the cycle of violation. So, according to this research, ang death penalty is not effective in reducing crime. And other example is dun sa Iran kanina. Habang tumatagal na ini-impose nila yung death penalty sa kanilang bansa, is mas dumarami yung kanilang execution rate, which mean na yung crime rate sa kanilang bansa is tumataas din. And dito makikita natin na yung death penalty is hindi talaga siya effective pagdating sa pagdidecrease ng crime sa isang bansa. So to conclude this report, this is our moral stand and judgment. As a student in a Catholic institution, it is important to consider the teaching of the Church and the principle of social justice when forming your own moral stand and judgment on death penalty. This may involve reflecting on the value of human life, the potential for rehabilitation, the possibility of error in the justice system, and the importance of mercy and forgiveness.